Tonight on Grady Newsource, Winder police are offering $10,000 for information leading to the arrest of an arsonist that burned down a nonprofit.
They took bricks and kept smashing until they went through. They doused it with gasoline and just lit it on fire.
A petition to remove a mask policy in Madison County schools has stirred controversy.
You want to convey a certain opinion, you have to come up with the entire story, and that's not what they're doing, and that makes me very angry.
And we take a look at the weather for this weekend and give you tips on how to fight seasonal allergies.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I'm Chelsea Perry and welcome to Grady Newsource. The Winder Police Department announced a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest or conviction of those responsible for setting fire to a Winder nonprofit. Grady Newsource reporter Melissa Guh has the story.
The door was like reinforced. They couldn't break it, but there's like glass right beside it where you can look in. They took bricks and kept smashing until they went through. They doused it with gasoline and just lit it on fire.
That's how Director of Spirit of Sharing, Melinda Sheely, described what happened to her nonprofit's office building last Thursday. Sheely suspects that the arsonist could be someone who blamed Spirit of Sharing for bringing unwanted police attention to the community.
We know there's a lot of people that's dissatisfied with us, trying to do good over here, trying to scare us off like they've done other people. But yeah, we're hard to scare off.
Misty Manis, community member and assistant director of a local nonprofit called Adventure Bags, said she had no idea why someone would set fire to their building, but she believes they will recover stronger than ever before.
They are so driven, and they've been doing this for years, and they may have to find other ways of serving their community, but I honestly don't think that they're not gonna let it get them down.
Sheely said it won't be until next year when they will have an office again. They lost all their money in the fire, so they are relying on donations to the GoFundMe and direct donations of money and items like gloves, cleaning supplies, and plastic bins. Sheely said the community support has helped them stay hopeful.
I am a survivor. People around me are volunteers. We've been through many storms, and this is just a setback. So all of the volunteers, people in the community, they're like, we're with you. What do you need?
The Winder Police Department announced a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest or conviction of those responsible for the crime. Detective James Schultz said they couldn't provide any details about the case because it is an open investigation. Melissa Guh, Grady Newsource.
Ruling to void the votes cast for a commissioner who died. Grady Newsource reporter Kelsey Coffey explains the decision's impact on voters.
A recent Georgia Supreme Court ruling voids votes cast for former Athens-Clarke County District 6 Commissioner Jerry Neesmith. Neesmith died 3 days before the primary election. The state upheld a lower court ruling which found that votes cast for a deceased candidate are null and void. Neesmith's former opponent Jesse Huell will run against Chad Lowry in a special election on November 3rd for a 2-month term. Lowry says he doesn't agree with the court's ruling.
It's unfair. I think the voters in District 6 have been disenfranchised because they don't want him in there.
However, political expert Joseph Watson Jr. says the aftermath of this election won't have a great impact.
In this circumstance, I don't think it is a particularly great consequence, but it does make for an interesting story, and it does make voters aware of kind of an unusual aspect of the governing law for this particular office.
Kelsey Coffey, Grady Newsource.
Howe will take office in January regardless of who wins on November 3rd. Absentee ballots are being mailed in all across the country. Grady Newsource reporter Molly English found out what happens to your ballot after it's been sent.
The envelope my absentee ballot came in. Now, the actual ballot has since been stamped and sent off to be counted. But what will happen to it on election night and possibly the days after? At least in Oconee County, ballots that have been received will start to be scanned this Saturday, October 24th. According to Jennifer Stone on Oconee County's Board of Elections, that just means the ballot's information gets transferred over to hold until they are finally tabulated and counted on November 3rd. Absentee ballots are usually the first to be processed on election night, but despite concerns that the number of increased mail-in ballots due to COVID-19 will stall final election results for days, Stone says that this shouldn't be a concern.
I would say we'd have something by 8:30, at least something.
In June's primary, for example, Oconee County had over 7,000 ballots returned and did not have to tabulate into the next day, according to Stone. Molly English, Grady Newsource.
Back to school in November, grades pre-K through 8 are returning to in-person learning on November 9th in the Clark County School District. There was a car protest on Monday in response to this. Grady Newsource reporter Georgia Chambers has the story.
Students in the Clark County School District in grades pre-K through 8, grab your lunch boxes because in-person instruction is resuming Monday, November 9th. There is a reopening info tab on the Clark County School District website, which contains information about its phase-in plan and COVID-19 protocols. Hand sanitizing stations will be installed throughout schools, breakfast will be grab-and-go bags, and students will eat in their classrooms. However, some parents believe that the phase-in plan was not detailed enough. Hours of operation have not been set yet, and it is unclear of what academic instruction will look like. There is a website dedicated to voicing these concerns, encouraging Athens parents and community members to take a stance against the current plan to reopen. There was a car protest at the Clark County School District offices on Monday, and parent Carrie Bishop live-streamed the event. Jamie Mays organized this protest and has been very vocal about her discomfort with the manner in which the Clark County School District is planning on resuming in-person instruction.
I wanted to disrupt the idea that there are only two concepts to this problem, either opening or not reopening, because there is a gray area in between. What I wanted to make clear was that we do believe we should be opening for some, and that we want the details on what that looks like for those people that need it the most.
Beth Moore, the communications manager for the Clark County School District, said she has no statement regarding Monday's events, but that there is a reopening update scheduled for this Friday. It will release a number of parents and guardians who opted for in-person versus virtual instruction and additional details regarding the phase-in plan. Georgia Chambers, Grady Newsource.
Parents in Madison County are speaking out about the school district's face mask policy. Grady Newsource reporter Jenna Maddox has more on the petition that sparked the community conversation.
If it helps to save somebody not getting infected because of what we do, that's the bonus.
Rudo Kieft is a scientist in the molecular biology department at UGA. He's also the parent of a student at Madison County High School. Kieft, along with other parents, students, and community members, are speaking publicly about the face mask policies implemented at all Madison County schools amid the coronavirus pandemic. Last week, an anonymous person created a petition to support optional face masks at Madison County schools. The petition garnered over 350 signatures, along with comments like these from people opposing the policies. The guidelines say masks are expected to be worn when social distancing is not possible, including the bus, in the crowded hallways, and in smaller-sized classrooms. Madison County student Berg Booth is in support of the policy and says there are multiple opportunities for people to take mask breaks.
I think that the mask policy we have is it's very beneficial to us.
Kieft also says his background in science helps him constructively review the statements from the opposing side of the mask argument.
What they showed is cherry picking from one set of data which benefits their story or their angle on the whole thing, which is absolutely wrong because that's not how science works.
However, Stephanie Higdon, a therapist and parent of 2 students in Madison County, says face masks have been one of the greatest contributors to the increase in stress and anxiety this year.
It is not helpful, and it is causing emotional and mental health harm and damage to our students.
Madison County Superintendent Michael Williams did not comment on the community-wide conversation, but he did say that the guidelines are currently under review.
I think they've done the best they could with the information they had to get schools reopened, but I think they really seriously need to revisit the stringency of the policies.
A board meeting has been scheduled for the public to discuss the safety protocols next Tuesday. Jenna Maddox, Grady Newsource.
Today, you can register for a same-day testing appointment at the University of Georgia Legion Field Surveillance Testing Site, or walk up and register, something that was not always possible a month ago. Grady Newsource reporter Danielle Harvey reports.
The University of Georgia on-campus testing site now has 500 slots for appointments each day, 140 more than the original 360 the semester began with, when the demand was higher than supply for tests. There were 2,029 tests conducted last week, 85 more than the previous week. Although Miyaka Kemp, a fourth-year music education major, did not always find it this convenient to find a test. Back in early September, she had to go to a site off campus nearly 10 miles away.
I definitely think it's a lot better that I can arrange to get an appointment right now if I wanted to, because I even checked last night just for gee whiz to see, and I was like, oh, I could get a test tomorrow if I wanted to, which is cool and all, but my concern is I don't know if it's because there's more tests being offered or if it's because students aren't get tested as much anymore.
The UGA Medical Oversight Task Force, which oversees surveillance testing operations, said if we were to dramatically scale up our testing of asymptomatic individuals, we would be consuming medical-grade personal protection equipment and swabs that are needed to treat sick patients. We would also slow down our ability to run the test quickly, thereby reducing their effectiveness in mitigating COVID-19 spread. However, another leading university, Georgia Tech, churns out triple the amount that UGA does, over 1,500 tests a day, and has only had a total of 1,071 COVID-19 cases compared to UGA's total reported 3,598 cases. With the help of the President's Venture Fund, UGA Student Affairs has launched a campaign to motivate more participation in the free surveillance testing, like free coffee while you wait in line and food coupons. You can make your appointment by visiting the link below. This has been Danielle Harvey with your Grady Newsource News.
After the break, the meeting of Family Promise Week in Athens and an update on speeding ticket cameras in Jefferson.
Get Forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Hey guys, wait up! And discover the wonders of nature with your family. These trees are the key to our way of life. Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle! Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
In December of 2019, the Jefferson City Council voted to sign a contract which would put automatic speeding cameras in the school zones. Almost a year later, the cameras still have not been installed. City Councilman Steve Kenny, who is responsible for the district where these cameras will be located, says that they should be up installed in November.
The chief of police at the last council meeting said that their goal was to get them up in November to be ready to go back up towards the first of the year.
To find out why the installation has taken so long, we have reached out to the police department and are waiting to hear back. Athens Clarke County Mayor Kelly Girtz proclaimed this week as Family Promise Week in Athens. Homelessness and families who have been financially impacted by COVID-19. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that more than 30% of people who live in Athens Clarke County live below the poverty line. You can donate to Family Promise of Athens at www.fpgives.org. Oconee County School Superintendent Jason Branch added another award to his resume as a school board official. Branch, who has served in his current role as Oconee County School Superintendent for the last 8 years, received the 2020 Georgia School Superintendent Association, or GSSA, President's Award on Friday. Last year, Branch was awarded the Bill Barr Leadership Award, another prestigious award given out by the GSSA and one of the top public education awards in Georgia. According to the GSSA website, the President's Award is given to superintendents who show creativity in their approach to educating the students in their community. Anissa Jimenez, the Director of Communications for Dr. Branch's office, says the award was well deserved.
This award is given out for excellence and innovation. We are so pleased that Dr. Branch received this award, especially as it is a reflection of the excellence in Oconee County schools, even amidst a pandemic.
Thank you so much. Coming up, how Halloween in Athens will be different this year due to COVID-19.
Hello, this is Kelsey Miller.
All traditions might be limited this year. Grady
And how you can stay well against allergies this season.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
And now, the weather.
Hello, I'm Kelsey Miller, and I have your Northeast Georgia weather. Tonight in Athens, we'll have some sun and warmth at 6 p.m., and heading into tonight, it will gradually get cooler and lower to the mid-60s. Tomorrow in Athens, we'll start out from the mid-60s and warm up to 73 and 78 degrees throughout the day. Some of Northeast Georgia will maintain a high around the mid-70s, upwards to 78 degrees in Athens and Atlanta, with the coolest high in Blairsfield and the hottest temperature in Augusta. Over the past day, the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology has counted pollen data for trees and grass at low concentration and ragweed pollen at the highest concentration count at moderate. University of Georgia agricultural climatologist Pam Knox says that ragweed pollen might be a significant trigger for fall allergy symptoms. Knox also says if you're facing allergy symptoms, the best ways to stay healthy is to get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, more than caffeine, and eat healthy. Once again, I'm Kelsey Miller, and that's all for your Northeast Georgia weather.
Good evening, I'm Nathan Moore with your Grady Newsource Sports, and coming up,
Georgia is one of several teams affected by new SEC schedule changes. After the break, we'll hear from Coach Kirby Smart about how his team is using the unexpected bye week. That and more coming up.
It's terrifying, it's disgusting, and it must be stopped. Throughout downtown Athens, mindless zombies are throwing recyclable items in the trash. No! But you can be a hero. Groovy. Use the downtown recycling bins for all your recyclable items. Cans, bottles, paper, and more can all be recycled. So use the downtown bins and don't be a mindless zombie. To save this world, we must recycle more.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I ride the bus.
I ride the bus.
Nosotros usamos el autobús.
Athens Transit would like to remind you that the bus is for everyone. Riding the bus is safe, affordable, and convenient. For work, for shopping, or anything else, the bus can take you there. And when you need a little extra help, the bus is ready to meet your needs. So remember, the bus is for everyone.
I ride the bus.
For routes and complete information about the bus, visit athensclarkcounty.com/transit.
And now, sports. And now, sports. And now, sports.
Following last week's loss to number 2 Alabama, the Georgia Bulldogs were originally slated to take on Kentucky in Lexington this week. But once again, 2020 has other plans. Last week, the SEC announced a host of schedule changes, one of which moves this week's game against Kentucky back to next week, October 31st. According to a press release from the Southeastern Conference, the schedule changes were made due to, quote, positive tests and quarantine of individuals related to COVID-19. So now the Bulldogs have an unexpected bye week, but it comes at a good time as head coach Kirby Smart says his team will use this unexpected off week to focus on themselves after their first loss of the 2020 season.
We got a lot of guys that got to get better. So we're taking this week, working Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, trying to get fundamentally better, trying to focus on us, not really on opponents.
So the Bulldogs are all of a sudden off this Saturday, but that doesn't mean your TV should be. I'll show you 4 games that Bulldog Nation should keep an eye on this Saturday. First up at noon Eastern, we have Ohio State and Nebraska in the opening day of the Big Ten. For Georgia fans, it's the first chance in 2020 to see former Bulldog, now Buckeye quarterback Justin Fields take the field. Next up at 3:30, Georgia's last 2 opponents, Alabama and Tennessee, square off in the 103rd installment of the 3rd Saturday in October rivalry. Also at 3:30, we have Oklahoma State and Iowa State squaring off in a ranked matchup in the Big 12 that could go a long way to deciding the eventual Big 12 champion. And finally, in prime time, the only ranked matchup taking place in the Big Ten this Saturday, Minnesota and Michigan, where College Game Day has already announced they will be in Minneapolis for the big game. So there you have your Saturday slate of football, but coming up this Friday, there's another important game with more local implications. Prince Avenue Christian will host Athens Academy for its senior night this Friday, and of course one of the seniors being honored will be Prince Avenue quarterback Brock Vandegrift. The 5-star recruit and UGA commit is ranked the number 2 dual-threat quarterback in the country, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite. Now, the game will kick off at 7:30 p.m. on Friday at Brad Akins Field in Bogart, Georgia. I'm Nathan Moore, and this has been your Grady Newsource Sports.
Welcome to the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center in Athens, Georgia. Completed in 2013, the Tennis Center offers great play all year round on 12 fully lit hard surface courts. There are accommodations for spectators and enough space to host a tournament. The main building features energy-efficient construction, ADA accessibility, a covered pavilion, and much more. Players of all ages enjoy open play, clinics, and summer tennis camps at the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center. Because in Athens, Georgia, tennis is for everyone.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
This is the Oconee Street Park and Ride Lot, where you can park for free on weekdays and ride the bus into downtown Athens and UGA. The Downtown Express runs every 20 minutes during peak commuting hours. So skip the parking fees and traffic hassles. Park for free and ride into downtown Athens and UGA from the Oconee Street Park and Ride.
Park and ride. Park and ride. Park and ride.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Due to COVID-19 guidelines being in place, our favorite fall traditions might be limited this year. Grady Newsource reporter Alex Joyce has more on the subject.
What is your favorite Halloween tradition? Maybe it's carving pumpkins, going to haunted houses, getting dressed up, going trick-or-treating. Regardless of whatever it is, it's always fun to have Halloween traditions.
One such tradition is the Wild Rumpus Parade, located in downtown Athens. This parade is a family-friendly event where the Athens community gets together to have fun and dance together.
The Wild Rumpus is a huge event downtown. It's probably one of Athens' top 5 biggest events. It's a costume parade where anyone can show up in a costume and be in the parade.
On Monday, Governor Brian Kemp limits the amount of people in large gatherings to 50 or less. Due to this restriction, the parade will have to take place in a different way this year.
So, if the massive dance party and the parade aren't taking place
normally due to COVID this year, how can residents still get involved?
We've shifted to being a virtual festival that'll run at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Halloween, online, on Facebook and YouTube, and from the website.
Even within the midst of a pandemic.
I'm Chelsea Perry, and from all of us here at Grady Newsource, thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Publication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket. Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Driving down Oconee Street in Athens, you might get a glimpse of this in your rear view mirror. This red